What's going on? This is RPS UMP Media with the Hungry One podcast. I'm here with my buddy Ron Sherrod.
What up?
Now, this guy has had a lot of experiences with life, with love, kicking people's ass,
A little bit.
but most importantly, changing the minds of men everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, that I think I don't know about you, dude, but with my experience in life, that is the biggest hurdle a lot of men go through.
Oh, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. It took a minute, man, because that's the deal, right? It took me being the arrogant asshole, climbing the ladder of success on the rungs of the dead bodies underneath me to be like, I got it all. I got this figured out, man. Life is... And then once you get beat down a little bit and thrown off a few buildings and you understand what humility and to be humble. And the only way to truly succeed is to figure out how to be humble and be able to look at yourself and be like, I got to change something, man. You have to realize that you don't know it all and you aren't the end all to end all. And you do, man, asking for help, asking them like, I don't know how to do this. Mm-hmm. How do I do better? And be willing to listen. You know, everyone's like, how do I do better? Yeah, but I know that, but I'm doing that, but I'm doing that.
Ego gets in the way, dude.
Everything.
Everything. Ego's the biggest killer of every fucking dream out
Everything.
there.
Kills every dream out there.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to put my ego aside and go, man, help me. That's hard, man. I'm not a little dude. I'm not a little dude either, man. I'm the guy that's not going to be like, hey, I don't know how to do this. Mm-hmm. I'm failing. Mm-hmm. My marriage is failing. My relationship's failing. My business is failing. But I'm a dude. You got to shelf it, man.
Do you think, in your personal experience, talking to all these men all over the fucking world, once one thing starts going down, everything just domino effect?
It's domino effect.
Yeah.
It's domino effect because we have all these things in our life. You know, we have relationships, interpersonal relationships, sexual relationships, business, work, our ego. These are all like little buoys out there. Once one thing starts to sink, you'll panic. You'll hyper-focus on one thing or you'll lean on other things, and it'll just, the weight of it will carry everything down. The weight of a failed financial situation in a business, the weight of a failed marriage or a failed relationship, or the weight of just failing on your own and not lying to yourself, doing things that is out of your own ethics. And it just starts to bring everything down. And when the house of cards starts falling, man, that's when guys call me. It's when I get, because... everyone's cool until shit's not cool, right? They're like, I'm drowning. Like
everyone thinks they can fight until they get really hit in the jaw.
Everyone's good when they're treading water at the neck. But then when they're like going in their nose, they're like, I need help. Uh-huh. And I've been there. I've gone underwater. And it was the people that helped pull me back and be like, you ready? Okay, not yet? Okay, ready now? Okay, now I'm ready. And all of a sudden, it's like the light bulb turns on. You're like, I need to quit being a dick.
That stop being a dick part, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, my dad had a short fuse. Like, bam. Yeah. I wasn't around love with my parents, dude. Yeah. My mom was my savior, pretty much. She protected me from, getting yelled at from my dad and all that stuff. Yeah. But I never saw love in a marriage.
Well, it's a nature nurture thing too,
totally,
right?
Dude. Totally. But it took me years to understand why my father was the way he was.
And some of us never figured out.
No, but stress of work, providing. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, you have to go through it when you get older to understand why.
I call it, with my guys, the Protestant work ethic. Mm-hmm. I need to go to work 105 hours a week, 8.5 days a week, upstairs. I mean, I get it, man. I appreciated the fact I came off of northern Nevada, rednecks and cattle ranching and truck drivers, and I get it. Mm-hmm. But that does not give you the right to just, it does. I mean, you do anything you want in this world. You can jump off buildings. Hell, man, you can't find the bathroom to use, any Audi pee-pee, don't know. We live in a weird place now that allows everything. But what it doesn't do is try to foster the idea that I don't have to be that. I can have happiness and love and feel cool and feel connected to people and still be a provider and still have a good relationship and still not be a dick. And that's the tough part, man. That's the hat trick. I always tell people, you won the game of life. Mm-hmm. Once they kind of come out the other side. And I'm not saying I won anything. I just went up a lot of hills and down a lot of hills and down a lot more hills. And I kind of popped out the other side and was like, oh, I'm personally responsible for my own happiness. Mm-hmm. And when I found everyone around me did better. That's the hat trick, bro.
When you throw out that vibe, dude, it's completely different. Like everyone, feels it, dude. It's like when I create,
because it's real.
Like when I create, exactly. When I create, if I'm around positivity, dude, anything is fucking
positive. I've watched you. I've worked with you. That's how we met, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude. We felt it, dude.
America and I have been out in the desert whacking with the models. We got naked girls in lingerie waiting to get shot, and they're staring at us because we're whacking away with lightsabers and shit out there going, is this cool? Yeah. They're like, well, we're over here. We're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about you.
Yeah, I forgot. It's just boys being boys, dude.
Yeah, but best modeling shots ever, right? Dude, when they're like, I'm super comfy.
But that's the difference, that what we do versus everyone else is the experience. Anyone can create stuff.
Yep.
But that experience people have with what we do and what we share with everyone, that's the whole purpose, man.
And you're right. Anyone can create.
Yeah, it's the whole purpose because that's going to be remembered forever.
And I don't mean to be the weirdo in the room and esoteric. And I mean, I'm pretty didactic. I'm a science-based dude, but there is an untangible with like, and I hate to be weird, like loving people, dude. Loving people and your wife, your significant other, your friends, or your people, your peer group. We're social critters, man. We'll get my background, my science. We're social critters. Not all of us are meant to be that monk on the hill in Nepal, like chilling out in 90 below weather. We need that social interaction, and it needs to be honest, with no ego and an intention of helping. And you can move mountains in your life with that. Our world's not in a super good spot right now. That's why we thrive.
People get caught up in all the bullshit, dude.
They do.
They just take the microgram of bullshit, and it just it's not worth it, man. No. It's like we were talking about earlier downstairs. I get up out of bed, even though my knees and everything creak.
I feel you
trying to get out of bed without hurting myself. But you just like sit up and say, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Regardless of the situation, dude.
That's that mindset thing, right? Like. We have injuries, and I mean, there's a component of, man, I really hurt. This is hard, which I think I'd rather battle over that mental part sometime of like, oh my God, I've got to do this.
Of course, dude.
That's the hat trick, though, to be like, well, let's get at it.
Because where the mind goes, the body follows.
Oh, I'm telling you, as you think, you speak. As you speak, you do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not the first one to come up with. I think what was that? That's Buddhism, I think. That's 3,000-4,000 years ago. These little dudes roaming around on the side of the mountains in Tibet. We're like, oh, as you think we speak, as we speak, we do. Well, ironically enough, 4 or 5 millennia later, we're still going, those dudes were right. Mm-hmm. It's real things, and we get caught up in the baloney of the day-to-day stuff. And what do people think of me? Who do I have to impress? Dude, no one cares, man. The real people, they don't care.
No, they don't.
They just want your friends. They want to love you. They want you to be well. Yeah. And I come across a little dick sometimes. Of course. But I want people to be well. Like I wish I could just like implant. Hey man, if you just altered a couple little things, you'd be like, wow, life is beautiful.
Yeah, but you say you go back to. You just said you become a dick sometimes. Yeah. But you know what, dude? Those are the best. Those are the best friends, bro.
They tell you what you need to hear,
not what you want to hear, dude. It's a fucking difference. Yeah. Like when I was having some issues last week, you were the first dude I talked to. Bro, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Am I thinking straight? Am I in the wrong? How do I change my way of thinking?
Just give me some input.
But that's the thing.
Because I'm not the smartest dude in the room.
No, but it's like accountability, trying to figure out what the issue is, and then tackling the steps to fix it and improving and evolving yourself.
Well, because when you're in it, you can't look at it.
No.
I say that all the time. Mm-hmm. When I coach business coaching, people are so busy working on their business or working in it that they can't work on it. Sometimes when we're so enveloped in a situation, we can't see the forest for the trees, right? Mm-hmm. We're like, man, and sometimes you ask, you can ask someone who doesn't know anything from anything. Well, man, I noticed that you're doing this. Oh, I didn't notice that. This person has no relative idea of anything. All of a sudden, oh, cool, thank you. Because you asked for help, man. You're like, hey, dude. Sometimes it comes from the most innocuous places, man. The dude stacking oranges at the grocery store, the lady checking you out at Lowe's. Like when you're just like in it, right? And like, hey, I noticed this. And you're like, you start being aware of the people around you. Remember, we're social critters, man. And
bro, on that as well, social critters. But there's ways to find your happiness through a different mindset every day. Like, I always tell people, thank the UPS driver.
Yeah, right.
Have a conversation with the checker at the grocery store.
Attitude of gratitude.
How's your fucking day?
Attitude of gratitude.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
But as us creatures of looking for validation of love and like kind of some of that positive energy. Yeah. Once you get a smile or a positive response,
it's crazy, huh?
Bro,
changes your day,
bro.
I have a technique with my guys I use because we have modules. So one of the modules after we really work on self is okay. You have to go outside. What was that movie? We need to go outside. And they're like where people are.
Yeah.
Can't I just use my phone? No. So no. And then because we're socially like COVID messed us up. COVID like threw a spin in the washing machine because nobody go outside, no one talk to anybody, don't have an interpersonal reaction. Well, as humans, that's our purpose. Our purpose is meaningful interactions with others. That is the purpose of being a human being. So then you took it away, locked these poor kids away. Behind a computer screen and an iPad, even adults, very capable guys I have, engineers, physicians. And I said, I'm in a task. I said, go to Lowe's. I said, go to Lowe's and Target on a Saturday morning. And they're like, why? Just to walk around. I mean, these people, some of them come back and my calls me like, couldn't do it. Couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't go in. What are you? What?
It's weird, man.
But then all of a sudden, I'll also get them on a call and they'll come back and be like, all right, man, dude, the craziest thing happened. I'm like, what? I'm waiting for something like they won the lottery. I went to Lowe's. This girl was there, and I was like, said, excuse me, and she's like, oh, no problem. And then and she talked to me. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it. Like they have these epiphanies when they get this. Even the checker at the checkout stand is something nice to them. Changes the trajectory. And I start little places there. Go start to be kind to people. Go ask people if they need help. Everyone wants like. No one helps me. No one helps me. No one give. Start giving, and you'll get. You notice someone that's just bummed, or just, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? There's a lot of value in helping. There's a lot of that's part of leadership, right? You lead your family. I get the guys. My wife hates me. She wants to divorce me. Blah blah blah. Why do you lead? When's the last time you took her on a date? Hey, honey, you good?
God, dude.
Are you good? Are you okay? How's your kid? I mean, you don't have to be Don Juan, you just got to show that you care a little bit because everyone's so like, poor me, right?
Be in the moment. Be fucking present.
Be present, man.
Be present.
You know those two numbers I give, 77.8 and 78.1. Average expected lifespan of a male and female. And when I stop there and go, because everyone's doing the math right now going, oh, man, you got that little time. I mean, you might live to 105. You might walk out of here and get hit by a bus. But I'm sort of the numbers dude. You got to look and go, I only have this little time.
I got like 30 years left.
You're wow.
And no one believes me. Like I said, I got good 20 years left.
Yes.
Probably.
And we all hope for the best.
No,
the
for
reality
sure.
is like, that's why I do what I do now.
Nurture,
man.
Yep. Your whole world, dude. Your relationship, your love, your children, yourself, your mind, your body, dude. Take care
of self first.
Oh, for sure. That's underrated.
Well,
highly underrated. Dude.
Because it's looked at. No, I'm a doctor, really. When people say, trust me, I'm a doctor.
He's a fucking doctor.
No joke. People like, no.
And he does my taxes.
I do. I have a lot of degrees. I collected degrees for a while. It was fun. Not really. But the point being is, like, it is so frowned upon to be selfish. Because, that's a terrible word. That's a narcissist. Come on, man. I get so drained hearing that's a narcissist. I got people with not even a crackerjack degree or people that have never even opened the diagnostic and statistical manual for diagnosis mental conditions going, oh, he's a narcissist. You can't even spell the word. I mean, I've asked that pointedly in parties and they're like, can you spell narcissist without using your phone? And they're like, well, what's that point? I said, the point is narcissism is alive and well in this world. Trust me.
Yep.
I've been called it many, many times just because I have an opinion that I feel strongly about and I won't let somebody else sway me from it. That also means being self-directed. And I love myself. I love my friends. But what I also do is, if you have to care for yourself, you need to be the best physical person for yourself, the best emotional person for yourself psychologically, because you can't be the best for anyone else unless you're best for yourself. You can't be a good husband. Guys are like, oh, I can't find a good woman, or I can't date, or I can't find a wife. Or women, they're like, there's no good guys, and but it's because you're not the best person for yourself yet. Be selfish. Take time. Be like self-care, emotional care, psychological care, like physical care. We look around you in the world. These people, they don't take physical care of themselves. Our physical wellness in our world is shot to hell. Our emotional wellness is poor. I mean, you don't have to turn the TV on to just see that post-COVID, depression. And I'm not making light of any of this. I'm just saying, when you're aware of it and go, no, I'm going to care for myself.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, I found this cool girl, or I have these cool friends. And I watch it I've been coaching. I've done 1,000 live broadcasts. Live when they're not recorded. I'm live with my guys from 18 to 40 guys at a time, and we're chopping it up. And they're like, and I see them come back, and they're like, yeah. As soon as they started being selfish, not selfish like I'm ignoring you and I'm gonna, but in a positive way, they're like, oh man, I just met this cool girl, Ron, or I got this job, and they're like, you see it, and they're puzzled, and then a couple weeks later, they're like, oh, it's like watching the light bulbs turn on. They're like, you mean wait. When I do take better care of myself, life goes better.
Yeah, you're astonished, dude.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I dig it.
I dig it too, dude. And that's why, like you said, take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Now, when in your life, because I know you've been through a lot of shit. When in your life do you think you hit that turning point, bro?
But do you want turning point or
like
do you want when I saw the train coming, or when the train hit me, backed over me, and ran over me 3 more times?
We'll get into details after the point where you said, all right, shit's got to fucking go in a different direction. Man, because if I keep going in this direction,
I can tell you, I can tell you some funny things. Funny, not haha funny, like, oh, this is disturbing in a bad way. So I've had 4 spine surgeries too, open spine surgeries. Spent 3.5 months in the hospital. Almost died of COVID. I had some, and that was actually when I got my shit together, and that was just happenstance. It almost got me. But pointedly, I had back spine surgery. I had practices in Ohio and California. We're not going to go down the road how we got there, but I owned practices in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Sacramento, California. I'm flying back and forth, drinking every day. I was in a marriage that made me miserable. I was miserable, and I had everything. I had a giant house. I had the cars, trucks, boats, vacation. I had everything because I'd climbed the ladder on the bodies of the dead bodies underneath me. I didn't give a shit. I'm right. I got it all figured out. Well, on one of my trips, I'm ambling through O'Hare. I had just had surgery 2.5 weeks before in spine surgery. I'm about 4 whiskeys deep. I'm going through O'Hare, and I black out. Literally, boom! Just kapachowie. And I have a connector from O'Hare to Cleveland.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So I'm in the sushi restaurant. They got medics, and they're calling my wife. And my wife, ex-wife, is not the person I wanted anyone to call. So it's just an explosion started in the avalanche of, you need to do better, and you need to give me more. And I'm not making any negativity toward the past relationship, but certain times you're in a spot that relationships aren't good for you. There's a relationship that's not good. And I saw the relationship wasn't good. I didn't like the businesses. I didn't like the people I was around, what I was doing. I was drowning in alcohol, drowning it in partying. I was the first. That was the straw. And from them, I remember going to Cleveland. I had healthcare practices there, so I got some care, and I had a wound issue, but I quit on that day. That trip, I remember my office manager calling my ex-wife and saying, Dr. Sherrod can't see patients anymore. I told a lady off. I told her, I said, you're not getting results because you're fat, you don't show up, you don't do the work, you're never going to change, and there's no way I'm going to change. I'm never giving you a prescription for pain meds ever again. And my office manager was like, whoa. She stormed out, livid. I'm calling everybody. Give a shit who you call, lady.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm done. The practice was for sale 3 weeks later. Practice in California was for sale. I dropped a grenade on my marriage. To be honest, ran away with a 27-year-old stripper. And that was how it all went down.
The American dream.
It was American Psycho, maybe. But what I did is I didn't handle my own things. Yeah. I wasn't responsible.
Accountability.
I was pointing fingers. I wasn't going, I need to be the responsible husband, father, business owner, and just go, I don't want to be with you anymore. I want a divorce. I don't want to be in this business anymore. Let's sell it. And instead, I was like, what's this? It's a pin. Woo! And took off. And then enveloped the next 5 years, which was unraveling a 21-year marriage, unraveling multiple homes and businesses, and
just a shitstorm of shit, dude.
Yeah. Ended myself in some funny places.
What were some of these funny places?
So the funny place, ended myself in the California Department of Corrections. Yeah, that was a good trip. That's a trip.
That's a circus.
Physician, it's a circus, man. You walk a California prison yard, that's some kung fu, man. And I don't mean to say kung fu in a good way. I'm not proud of it, but I'm probably saying it's something that I needed to be there. When doing that, I learned a lot. I learned about how the real world works. Kind of had some references on how it worked, but I learned how the real world works. Learned how to handle myself in certain places. I learned what respect was: respect for yourself, respect for other people. Learned how to keep my head down and learned how to keep my hands up.
And you still apply those same principles?
I still apply those same principles.
It's crazy, huh?
I do. Every day. You can't escape when you're there. Well, no, figuratively, literally.
No, for sure.
But when you're there, you can't escape. There's no getting out. There's no getting away from people you make commitments to. There's no getting away from people everyone's like, oh, you can't be proud of that. I'm not proud of anything. What I'm proud is, one, I made it. 2, I came out and thrived. I didn't just thrive. I kicked ass after that. And I learned.
You know what the irony of that is? You go through hell to make a haven outside.
Bro, it's
Isn't
so
that fucking
true.
Weird, dude?
But we just had a commentary. I was talking to somebody recently. I said, you know how fortunate I feel? Like, I mean, I was in a spot. I mean, I was in Tracy. I was in Susanville, Quentin. I was like, went to some places.
Saw some characters.
Man. I'm
surprised you didn't walk into the Joker right there.
But point being is, once you've been where I would consider a bottom, and to be honest, it's a stop, man. I mean, there are certain things that are tough there. You get to know yourself. You sit in a little box for 2.5 months in a 4x6 box. You learn a lot about yourself. You sit for a couple of years in other spots. You learn other spots about yourself. But coming out the other side is I made a commitment. First commitment I had, everyone's like, oh, you're going to make a commitment to do better or X, Y, Z. No, I didn't make any of those commitments. My commitment was to be humble. That's it.
When you were there, dude, what do you think was the percentage of the population that kind of got that same mentality you did, dude? Because some people don't change. One, wow. Maybe.
Recidivism rate I know is 70%.
Wow, dude.
I know 70. I learned all this.
That's crazy.
I was the only guy with 3 degrees in there, so I wrote letters, attorneys' letters, appeals letters, political letters. I hate to be there, but if you got to go there, you're going to innovate. I innovated, made a lot. I made money there, writing letters and doing attorney work. And it was like, okay, if you can hustle here, you can hustle anywhere.
You were like the Andy Dufresne.
It was crazy. It was.
Did you do the fucking taxes?
I didn't do taxes on there, but I reorganized the library. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I was well fed, man. I ran the kitchen, the AM kitchen. I ran like 35 guys in there. It was good. It was a good deal. But I did it. I learned respect. I learned respect was you don't demand respect. You don't demand it because of your race.
Dude, no.
I mean, and that's that's just a flat fact. I mean, you're in the general population. You run with your colors. But I learned respect for everybody. Everyone deserves respect. I'm not the arbiter of justice. There's no spot. And I learned that being at the bottom and the top. I don't care if you make $100 million a year and you drive Rolls Royces, or if you're cleaning the toilets in the dorm of your prison to cell. It doesn't matter. Everyone deserves. You can earn respect. Yeah. Being an honest person, having integrity, putting your ego aside. And I met some of the biggest bangers that are in there. I mean, I had one of my really good dudes who I always laugh at. We sat there and watched Sunday morning PBS. The dude was one of the big wigs in LA in a big gang affiliation. Wow. And he was a good dude. He was my age and been in there for his 4th term for trafficking. But we just would sit there and watch Bob Ross paint. Sat there and it was a trip, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a trip. So there's definitely, I learned respect, right? I learned respect. I learned what being humble's about.
And I'm sure you saw a lot of people get the other side of not learning respect.
Absolutely. Justice is swift and brutal there. Yeah, don't get into debt. Don't get into drug debt. Don't lie.
Same shit that applies in the
Same
real
things,
world.
but in this world we live in now, you get away with it.
I know,
You can lie and be disrespectful. And I always make a joke when my wife and I go to Starbucks and there's always a Karen in there. And I said, man, I just wish one time. And I don't advocate things, but
I know.
when you look at things and you're like, you have in movies where it's like the little bubble shows up, like wish, I just want someone to throat punch Karen. And
I know.
But I bet Karen wouldn't do it again.
There was many times I was waiting for someone during COVID, like, why don't you put your fucking mask on? I was waiting, dude.
But I guess being older or being wiser, probably none of the above, but learning more. Don't just. This goes back to loving people, man. Component of staying in your lane. It doesn't mean that you can't rise to somewhere else or you can't help people there. Just stay with what you know. Stay with what you're good at. If you want to learn something new, learn it. But don't go out there. I know it all. I can do it all. The arrogance, the abject arrogance will get you in trouble. Whether, and outside in the real world. If you need help, ask for help, right? You're talking about my guys.
Bro. I wish more people reached out for help, dude.
We just had a commentary with someone here recently, man.
It's just asking for the steps, dude. It's simple.
You don't even need all the steps. No. I don't even. My son said something, and I was very young, and I laugh at this, and I remember his mother and I were in there, and he said something that was just sticks with me to this day, and he was probably 8 or 9. But my wife's like, come on, Jack, get it together. And he goes, I can't find all the pieces. And we just fell apart. I'm like, how many times have we felt that? Man. I can't find the pieces, man. I want to get over there. I want to fix it. I don't know where all the pieces are. And that is so alive, and it's endemic in our society. Man, that's why we coach. That's why I coach guys. Like guys, and I hear this, well, you've never been there. But I've been a lot of spots. I've been at the top, I've been at the bottom, I've been to each side. And I don't claim to be an expert, but what I do claim to be is like, there's no spot on the map. I haven't been to all the spots on the map, but I've had enough samples to go, you can make it from any spot you're at. You can be here and make it there. You can be here and make it there. So I kind of had a low tolerance for people that weren't willing to help themselves before, but then when I really got to see all the spots, I'm like,
you can still relate something to each one of those things.
Yeah, and you don't ever go, I'm the boss, I know what's right. Just I've seen people make it from there. And I always use the example, if I can do it, I'm not the smartest dude and best looking, best success. You can do it. If I've watched someone else could do it, they can do it. Like, I'm not asking you to launch the space shuttle or solve world hunger, right? For goodness sake, just take a step forward. It was the hardest step of the longest journey is the first step. Yeah. And so many people, I'll sit 10 feet from, take that step. No, I did it all. I've done it all. Come on, man. No, I've done it all. I've been there. I know how to do it. Why are you still there then? Well, because, well, this is, and then they just, sometimes they do get it. The light bulb comes on, and they're like, oh shit. And then, sometimes you stumble. Sometimes you fall. I tell guys all the time. They're like, what if I fail? You're good. Maybe you fail.
It's okay.
Maybe you fail. You want to talk about failing? I should have a PhD in that by now. Not that I'm proud of it, but before I really got it, I was innovative in figuring ways to get around doing things the right way. You ever seen that person?
No, dude. All the fucking time, dude.
And I observe him now, and that's when people are like, why are you laughing at me? I'm not laughing at you. Yeah, sure, you're laughing at me. I'm like, no, when you see something that you've observed yourself or done yourself or coached yourself so many times, you go, what was that movie, The Princess Bride? I do not think this means what you think it means. I do not think this word means what you think it means. When you hear it, and then some people will get very frustrated with me because they'll get upset when I'm smiling or laughing. Why this isn't funny? It's funny, not in a funny way, but it's more of a ha-ha way. And then sometimes down the road they'll see it and they're like, oh, I get. Why didn't you tell me? I can't tell you this, man. I can't tell you that you're going to continually experience this in a negative fashion until you go take responsibility for what you do. Or go, I just have to get it right. Hey, Bob, Steve, Jim, Ron, can you help me? And then not just that, but then that next step forward is like, listen, man, like this, even I've had some people tell me that's some crazy shit. I'll try it. I'll try it. And I'll be honest, there's times I'm like, that worked.
I know, dude.
I'll tell my friends or my wife, that worked. Whether it's,
I think people just lack the capacity to problem solve.
Desire.
That too. Passion, desire, problem solving, it all comes down to that.
They live in their little bubble.
You know?
We live in a bubble. And if anything, when you asked me earlier, what's that point? Mm-hmm. Point when started the bottom to fall out. The point where it really started to come back was when I was still down.
Yeah.
I was, and I can tell you, it was 3 or 4 months before I got out. And I was like, I'd get up every morning at 3:30. I had a job. I ran in the kitchen. I had responsibility, and I cared for my dude. It was weird. It was just like I'm not supposed to feel like normal. I'm not supposed to feel like this is okay. I had my groove, and I read, and I meditated, and I had people that I dealt with and people I didn't deal with, and I was in my lane, man. And it was a little messed up lane. It was more of a dirt road.
Yeah.
But I stay on that road, and and things started clicking. And what clicked is like had a clear mind and a clear conscience. I had no ego. I was like, okay, I think I got it. And if you can get it at that low point, guys, you can get it at any point.
Yeah.
And I just started duplicating the actions as I got out. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I'm gonna have integrity. I'm gonna try to have low emotions in time because I'm crazy. I'm like, you think I'm Italian? I'm kung fu-ing all over the place, right? But I really try to have this integrity with my people and go, listen, I just want to help. Mm-hmm. Or I can't do that. Or I can't commit to that.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be honest. This is really what I want to do. Be honest. My kid's mom and I, we're many years down the road and we don't see eye to eye.
Sometimes it never happens, dude.
It doesn't.
I'm blessed that my daughter's mother and I are in a good place. It took years.
It takes a while, right? And well,
years,
probably,
dude.
and I always tell people this, the closest relationship you'll ever have is yourself.
Yeah.
When you spend years and years and years lying to yourself, that relationship's fractured and broken. The next closest relationship is going to be people you're married to, a significant other, 21 years of marriage. And I'm not giving my ex one out, but I'm giving her a validity.
No, I get it.
I get it. Enough time where you kung fu that one.
Yeah.
They're like, fool me once, shame on me. Yeah. Fool me 633 times.
Bro.
Right.
Bro.
So part of the humility is, guys, sometimes looking back in the rearview mirror and being like, yeah, I did some things. Just admitting it doesn't mean you grovel. It doesn't mean you self-deprecate and go, I'm never going to be anything. It just means that you look at it and go, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Not like Chevy Chase on vacation. Yeah, jump the car.
Dude.
I did it. I'm not. Your past doesn't dictate.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like with every relationship that failed in my life, regardless if it was my fault, I always look back of my shortcomings.
Always takes two.
But I always look at my shortcomings.
Of course.
Or, all right, this is how I reacted during this situation. Let's not do that again in my next one.
Yeah, right.
Let's communicate better. If I need something, communicate that. I think a lot of people don't take the time to do that, man.
It's because again, what I said, I should have got a PhD in how to circumvent doing the right things. I learned from meeting thousands of people, and I've taught from stage. I mean, I've done lots of things where I really I like being social. I like being in a crowd. I like speaking to people. I like helping people. So I got to meet a whole dichotomy of people. We're all the same. Roughly the same.
Yeah.
It's like genetically, we're all 99.99997%
yeah,
the same.
We're there.
We just got the little gray matter upstairs, and we look different. But how we process things, everyone else... Right now, there's 2 dudes sitting in Pakistan and India going, you know what, man? I bet I can just circumvent this and do it this way.
Yeah.
There's 2 ladies sitting in China. I bet I can screw this and do it this way.
Yeah.
2 people sitting in Alaska that are thinking, and all of those people eventually are going to be like, that was a bad idea, man. I should have done that. Not all of us get there.
Nope. They don't.
It's like, I feel blessed that I got hit in the head with a wet fish to be like, Sherrod, you got to... This is not helping. It's not helping your family. No. You're being a poor leader. You're being a poor example to your kids. And now, I got to sow the fruits of my labor. I got a beautiful wife, a great home. I got a good business. I've got things that I did the same methods that I did when I was down in prison.
Yeah.
Staying in my lane, being honest, doing things the right way. Just blossomed. because you don't ever have that garbage, man. You're never looking over your shoulder like, I wasn't honest with them, or I didn't say that honestly. I didn't do that right. I didn't treat them right. When you're doing that, guys, imagine driving your car down the road, and every like 15 minutes, you're looking back for a minute. Yeah. Pretty soon, you're going to wrap that thing around a telephone pole. And the more often you have to look back, the more probable you're going to wrap it around a telephone pole.
That's true.
But if you're just like, I got it, I'm cruising.
I know.
Dude, it's awesome. And the feeling is awesome.
Speaking of that, it's like, in a couple of my relationships, my wife cheated on me, girlfriends cheated on me.
It's hard, man. That's very hard.
And it maybe before all that happened, I was just fine, dude. Go out till 2 or 3 in the morning. I go, fuck, dude. Fine.
Fractured trust.
I'm yeah. But once that happened, I took that baggage, that garbage with me through so many relationships.
Oh, you had that in the backpack, man.
I mean, dude, like that whenever I go out, it's just, I'm a hawk.
Yeah.
I will never have a smile on. Who's looking at my shit all the time. Once that released.
Crazy. It's like the back. Well, rocks. We used to call it rocks in the backpack, man. You're carrying rocks in your backpack, bro.
It took me years, man. Mm-hmm. And I look back and I'm like, what a waste of fucking stress and energy that was, dude.
But we don't. Again.
But we don't realize it.
When we're in it.
Yeah, we're in it.
We're in it, man.
It's like, fuck the world. Fuck this. Mm-hmm. I went through shit.
I'm right.
I'm the victim. Blah 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 blah. It's not the person that you're with now's fault that happened. And so many people.
And they don't know.
They don't know. Like,
they're just getting sideswiped.
Yeah, but then, what's wrong? Why aren't you having fun?
Well, they're in that car as a passenger. When you're looking back, they're swerving into like traffic cones, and they're like, "Why are we doing this? I don't. What's happening? Do you want me to drive? God. No, I'm fine."
Man, once you let go past experiences
that's a hat trick
to determine how you act in your current situations, whether it's work, family, love, friendships,
they're all little. That's what we do now. Stoic Warrior, man. That's I
love your podcast, by the way. I love what you're doing. And everyone, you gotta sign up and follow his Stoic Warrior podcast. Amazing mental transformations on your mindset. Mindset's everything. Where the mind goes, the body follows. So you have to just clear your mind of the bullshit, be accountable for your actions, and just move forward. Just get up and go, dude.
There's steps to it.
Yeah, you have to follow the steps, dude. They could be it's like amino acids. It don't fucking matter what order they come in. As long as you're getting them in.
But that's the part that I think, we talk about the journey. The hardest step or the longest journey being the first step. Yeah. Is everyone sees like, there's Mount Everest in front of me. They're like, and we just get bogged down in it, right? Mm-hmm. When I really started to look at Stoicism, and there's a lot of great, Marcus Aurelius is the biggest Stoic out there, a leader of Rome, leader of the largest landmass in the history of the planet at one point in time. But imagine there's no cell phones, there's no communication. The dude ruled a solid third of the planet and nothing. But he had strict discipline to segregating his emotions and how he thought about things, how he thought about his social circle, his political circle, his intimate circle with his wife, his children. And you get an opportunity to read it and go, wow. Again, circling back to, hey, if that dude can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. That's what the philosophers thought. They're taught, you guys, I'm not teaching, we're not launching the space shuttle over here at 0 AD or 36 AD. We're teaching you that the mental discipline that you can put into saying, I'm not going to let one aspect of my life bleed into another. I'm not going to let my past relationships bleed into something else. I'm not going to let my decision-making algorithm of my past affect my future decisions in a negative fashion. And people go, well, Stoics are very void, or they're not devoid. For the best thing I can tell people, I'll teach you, or Stoicism will teach you how to play chess in a world full of people playing checkers. Mm-hmm. Irrational responses, fear of missing out, emotional responses to something. If I could just instill one thing, and I ask guys when they start, if I could get you to really internalize when you think of something, I need to do this, I need to say this, I need to go there, I need to do this, and stop and run through a little algorithm on decision making and go, well, okay, what's best and highest best use of my time? And you're going through these questions and come back and have a response that's even-keeled, low emotion, high integrity, and honest. How many people in your life would be like, where did this dude come from? And it's learnable. You can learn it. I'm an example. I still struggle every day. People that come through, they learn it. They learn how to be a high value person because they value themselves. They value their decisions. They value things they say, the people they're with, the things they do in life. And they're like, wow, and the highest commendation guys get is the people around them go, wow, you're a different person. I'm not different. I decided I needed to be better for me first. I'm not doing it for you. No. I'm not doing it for my wife, who I love, or my kids. I had to do it for me. Remember that number one relationship, right?
Bro.
It's a trip.
I was telling you, everyone's numero uno themselves, dude.
It is. But it's hard to get people to think that
I don't know why it's so hard for people, dude. Because, like, look.
It's because society breeds.
They don't break it down. It's like, do you like being forced to do shit? No. Then why are you forcing yourself to fucking do something that, you're not taking care of yourself first,
It's well, our society's the Protestant work ethic, the Industrial Revolution, the 40-hour work week, the 9 to 5. I always ask people, I said, okay, so what do you do? Well, I'm an XYZ. Okay. What days do you work? Well, I'm normal. Monday through. Whoa. Who wrote those rules? Well, I mean, Okay, well, I don't, but move on. You work from when? 9 to 5. Who wrote those rules? I mean, Well, no, I don't. Well, how long are you going to work for? What do you mean? Like, do you work for a couple of years? Or I work till I'm 65. Well, wait, who wrote the rules on that? Well, if I'm going to go to school, who wrote the rules on that? What I do now takes zero schooling. I tell people all the time, and I preach it, and you can follow me on my social media. What I do makes 7 figures, and you don't even have to have an 8th grade education to do it, and it's legal. And everyone's like, oh, it's XYZ. No, it's not, but it takes learning and discipline and
sacrifice.
You sacrifice.
I mean, time is sacrifice.
Yeah, but the idea is everyone has the ability. It's just
self-investment.
God, and I tell all the time when you get off this podcast, when you're like, oh, I got to use the bathroom, take a leak. The person you look at when you turn the light on in there is the one that's going to, you and him or her are going to have fist fights over this. Oh, yeah. Y'all are just, and whoever wins, the disciplined one that wins, that's when you win the real prize. When you look at yourself, and sometimes we need that. I needed it. People listening might need that. You look at yourself and go, I'm not doing everything I can. Guys, gals, that's hard. That's hard to say, even harder to hear yourself say, right? It's like, I can do better.
Every day.
But I'm going to watch a show.
I always say, I want to be perfect. Fuck being perfect. No, you don't want to be perfect. You want to be better. Perfect means there's no evolution.
Perfection is the enemy of good enough.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah. What's the point, dude?
Well, it's an unattainable state, right?
But people aren't realistic with it, It's well, I want to be perfect. Fuck that.
Social media teaches it, though. Social media teaches it. It's you're a photographer.
Yep.
Herb Rips or Ansel Adam, one of the two. We're shooting these guys 35 millimeter, no digital, right? The Wayback Machine, guys, kids. Wayback Machine, before there was digital cameras, there was this stuff called film, and you have to do a dark room. And that's what I was always fascinated with photography. American, I started because I'm fascinated by beautiful photographs, not just beautiful women, but like catching neat scenes and stuff. And then you take these people who didn't have the luxury of looking at a screen, delete, iPhone.
Easy shit, dude.
Right? But the statement was the beauty is in the imperfection. And that's life. I can't recall who stated it, but it said it so eloquently that life is what you get when you didn't get what you expected.
Oh, I love that quote, dude.
Because it's real. Like, how many of you people sit now like, I got everything. I planned it out when I was 8 years old. I was going to be an astronaut, and shit, now I work at H&R Block. But you know what? You might work at H&R Block, and you might drive an 83 Buick, but you might have a wife that loves your ass and 2 kids in a spot, and you chill. And it's like I take Chris Farley. Dude, I might be living in a van down by the river and be the happiest little clown.
All that matters, dude. People get caught up in this, like, I need to be a high-value status motherfucker, dude. You know what, dude? You can have all that in the back.
I live in Las Vegas, man. I get to go to some pretty swanky-ass spots, and I get to see some miserable fucks.
These stories, I'm all fucked, dude. Whenever you tell me, I'm like, I would just sit there and just fucking just watch, dude.
I mean, there's times we do that.
That's the kind of person I am. I'm like, I'll talk to people, blah, blah. I want to just fucking watch like I'm in Costco, dude. Like,
it is. Some of it's like people of Walmart.
I mean.
People of, my wife and I were driving down the road the other day, and I said, if you ever come to Vegas, just be mentally prepared. If you don't know the video game Grand Theft Auto, You need to play it a couple times before coming to Las Vegas, whether you're riding or driving, because we're a cross between Grand Theft Auto, the Kardashians, and like Crime and Order. True Crime and Order. Because
it's a reality show.
Reality.
Nonstop, dude.
But it's a good way. And I mean, I always say I think Vegas is so weird because it's the alien hub right next to Area 51. Mm-hmm. But the funny part is you get to see a whole dichotomy of life. What attracted us here, why we moved here, is people are, if I give them credit, and there's other spots in the world that are great too, but one, we get to do whatever we want here. When I don't mean it in a deprecating, bad, or malicious way, just live your life. Mm-hmm. Be happy. Mm-hmm. Do what you want. I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone. That doesn't mean I'll leave you, I don't want to talk to you. Just like, hey, you do your stuff. Okay. It's not judging. I'm going to judge you. You should be doing this, and we already have that in our planet. Our world is dying because most of us sit and we're so concerned about who likes our social media and what likes us and who thinks we should be doing. And, I don't go in any direction, but the second I hear somebody, well, that's not right. You should be, I can't buy into it. I mean, you're good. I don't care what you do. I always say that and people look at me weird. I don't give two shits what you do. I want you to be happy truly. And then they get more upset sometimes because they're not. Like, how can you want that? I think I should. I said I do, man, because I've been miserable. I never say I've been you. I've been the dick that's like, I know best. Mm. And the curmudgeon old bastard, right? Mm. Like, rawr, rawr, rawr. And curmudgeon old bastard could be extrapolated to the 21-year-old girl or the 45-year-old housewife or the 50-year-old guy or the 70. It doesn't matter. It can, as soon as you think, I'm right, everyone else is wrong. My way is correct, everyone else is wrong. Mm-hmm. Here's a dirty little secret. Dude, none of us know what we're doing. No. We're spinning around on this little blue ball out here, and you're just like, shit, I hope I'm getting it right. I mean, I feel pretty good. I'm good. I like my friends and my family and my job, right?
That's why I said when I said get up, I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Dude. Let's do this, I guess.
Like, shit, I guess this is happening.
I mean, every day I look.
You peek at the watch and like,
I'm all.
Man.
Turn on that mirror.
The next day did come.
Turn on that bathroom light. I'm all, yep, this is what I'm working with today.
Isn't there, and I've had this conversation before, isn't there a part of that like you happy about?
Hey, yeah,
like,
dude.
I remember, Monday morning come along, it's Sunday night. It's like I had to go to my practice. I had practice. I was like, I thought it was cool because I had all this stuff. Dude, I'm like 2 bottles of wine deep, fighting with the ex-wife, fighting with the kids, fighting with staff, people calling in sick, and I'm just like dreading it. Like in my soul, it's sucking the life out of me. The idea, and I'm making good money. I mean, I was making very good money, and it just still, it was like, we're making good money.
I see, right there where you're talking about. Yeah. I feel that's where people get the, money can't buy happiness. But money can buy happiness in a different way. But
my time.
You got to look at it this way. Like if you're a normal, like say couple or whatever, and you're still happy there. That's all good. Yeah. But then you come into money. Debts are paid. You can get that apartment. You can get that condo. I can finally get that truck. Oh, you can get a new car for kids. Mm-hmm. That shit becomes a little. You get the happiness.
A little breathing room.
You know what I'm saying?
You get.
But what you're saying, when you're describing that you had all that, you had the money, you had the car, but you were not at peace.
Oh no, you want more. It's
it's like
you've sacrificed everything.
That's it, dude.
It's doing the devil's work, and I'm not bringing angels, devils, but I was just saying, right? It's like I've sacrificed my marriage. I didn't look at it. I sacrificed my kids and going to school and picking them up and doing things. I sacrificed my friends. I was unethical. I did things that's like, but everything got me money because I was of the ilk where when I get the money, everything will be fine.
Sure.
Dude, talk about a crazy mindset. And so many people have it. I don't have to pay attention to my relationship. I don't have to pay attention to my friends. I don't have to my family. I don't have to be honest. I don't have to blah, blah. I'm making money, bro. That led me to my poop, how I got to the freaking bottom of the barrel to begin with. But all of a sudden, when you take that out of the equation and you get on the little dirt road, when you get up at 3:30 in the morning in prison, and you have people there that are incarcerated with you, and those are your friends, the people you deal with, and then you have your little job and you have your thing, and you start to be honest and have integrity with everybody. and every action in your day has honesty, integrity, and some semblance of happiness built into it because you just don't tolerate anything else because you don't have anything else.
Yeah.
And then you get out and you start realizing that life is that way. I have tons. We deal with people. We get parties. We get invited to parties all over LA, Vegas. Here I go. I get to see really cool. My wife owns a modeling company, so I mean, I get to go hang out with the most beautiful girls in the world all the time. But I will still be very specific on who my people I want to open up to. I understand the difference between doing business and people who are my friends and my peer group. And my people that I want around me, because those are important. You are a reflection of your people around you.
I say that night and day, dude.
Yeah, you're emotional, but guess what? You will also attract the dirt balls if you're lying, cheating, stealing, low integrity. It's just like a magnet. My wife has a great saying. I love it all the time. The trash will take itself out. If you just say I can't have that as part of my life, it takes itself out. We go to these crazy parties sometimes, crazy parties. And it's almost like you'll attract and repel your like kind, if that makes sense.
That makes totally sense, dude.
You know, that's why we like, Ron, how do you always have a good time?
Shit attracts flies, dude.
It does. And if you don't, and boy, I tell you, talk about a dummy I was. Like when I'm like, wait, I was doing it all wrong the whole time. That was the part where I started to come up. When I say come up, I come up. And just and it was weird because I felt bad. Like a couple years out, 2-3 years out, I'm like, what's going on here? Everything I'm doing is working. Everything worked. Relationships worked. Businesses worked. Friendships worked. Like,
and say it. Why was that? Why?
Family worked. Because I was honest. I was honest with myself. I had integrity with myself. I told people no when I meant no. I told people yes when I meant yes. I would let people speak their mind and not, instead of trying to correct them, just be like, okay. Well, what do you think about that? It's your mind, not mine. Well, yeah. I just want you to be happy, bro.
Yeah.
I just want you to function better.
Yeah.
Guess what? The people that were no and I know better, garbage took itself out. Yeah. People that were close to me left. People that weren't as close, then saw that, oh, Ron, you figured it out. Hey, come on, let's hang out. Holy shit, those are my good friends. Those are my family. My family that was like, I pushed them away and asked, the ones that were like, finally, you're back. Some of my other family left because they were the problem. I tell people this, and I'll wrap it up. The people closest to you, sometimes those closest to you, don't want the best for you.
Heck no, dude.
They're just waiting for you to fall.
Yeah.
And when you fall, they'll have told you so.
I fucking told you so.
And you know what you need is people in your life that you fall down and be like, that sucked. So let's get up. Try it again. Yeah. Want needs, right?
Yep. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Come on, man. Let's go. Yeah. And you're not standing there with their tapping their toe, but like, come on, man. I tell my guys that all the time. On that long walk up the Everest, I will pick you up and dust you off. I will not carry your ass. I'm just not that dude, man. I've carried a lot of burden for a long time.
Because people get used to that, dude.
Well, they do.
Like if they keep falling down and someone always carries them back up.
I'll pick them up every time.
No, for sure. But like carry them.
I'm carrying you, man.
No, all right. Well, if I fail again, someone's going to carry me.
I'm not carrying. I got much trouble carrying my big ass up side of the hill.
I will always pick up somebody else. Yeah. But like, all right, let's go. Pat you on the ass. Let's go, dude.
That's it. And you
got up.
That's no different when we started the podcast. You go into like say hi. So you could be down. You could see someone down. You could see someone just, and you sometimes, are you good, bro? I've said that to strangers. My wife gets halfway embarrassed because I will go talk to anybody anytime. She's like, oh my God. I'm slow.
She just wants to buy shoes.
She's buying shoes and I'm talking to people.
Or some fucking grapes or some milk, dude.
God, don't do that. Not that it's bad, but I do that because I realized that I spent years just ignoring people and thinking I was better. But I also spent years where I got drugged through my local hospital where I lived at the time, where I had admitting privileges in an orange jumpsuit and shackles. Yeah. You want to talk about low? I had people I knew that I worked with in the healthcare community that were like, and they couldn't come talk to me because I had 2 armed guards next to me. So it's not good or bad. It's just I've seen both sides of. I've been inside the fancy restaurant looking out, and I've been outside the fancy restaurant in the cold looking in, man. And it's just a piece of glass, man. And in reality, we're all the same. You could be the bigwig sitting in there in the 3-piece suit, having the same concerns, problems, honesty, integrity issues as the bum outside in the cold that doesn't have nothing to eat.
Yeah, man.
It's a trip. So, as we kind of I hope I give you a good perspective of what we do, and it's how I help guys. Because guys, if you feel lost, I've got engineers, doctors, company owners, CEOs, and they've financially made it, right? And they're like, oh God, but they're just like, I get them one-on-one, and they're like, I don't know, I hate my wife. I don't hate my wife. I love my wife, but she hates me. Yeah. My kids don't know me.
Their work becomes their escape. It should be opposite.
It is an escape, man.
It should be it's like, I always say, like, you should come home to be fucking.
You work to live. You don't live to work.
You are excited to be home, dude.
Yeah.
I used to come home like, fuck, I gotta deal with this shit.
Yeah. Well, the hat trick is excited about just living.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're winning. Because, I mean, there's times I'm not excited about going to work. But work at home, right?
Yeah,
so I have to could have put my boxers on and
totally
go downstairs,
totally
turn the monitors on sometimes. I'm like, oh, but it's like, okay, cool, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But there should be a semblance of, and you can reach that. You can find that. My guys that are engineers or doctors that my job's tolerable, my home life's horrible. We get their home life dialed in, all of a sudden jobs are better.
Mm-hmm.
Rising tide raises all ships, guys, gals. And I hate to beat that into people's heads or those cute little sayings, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just get one little part of your life where you're like, yeah, Ron,
it clicks. Once it clicks, it starts going in a different direction.
It's compounding.
Mm-hmm.
It's being in the little dirt road in prison, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like
seeing skulls smashed in. Dude.
Seeing skulls smashed in, which seeing skulls smashed in. I've seen it one time.
I mean, prison is one thing, dude. Many of us will never experience. But
I hope.
I
hope you don't.
No,
It's it was so weird.
All I know is I'll be hey, let everyone know I'm coming, dude.
It was just how okay, I went down. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, looks like you're going to prison for years. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait, one more time. Like, there's county jail. I'm into county jail. I would akin it to being in a kindergarten playground comparatively to going to East LA at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Wow.
That's exactly what it is. It was like, no, I've been to county. I'm great. That's fantastic. Good for you. Mm-hmm. And some counties. Then when you go and walk you go walk a yard on intake, it's a completely different ball of wax.
Walk
kids.
that walk, dude.
There's a walk too, man.
I can only imagine. Dude.
But so many people that becomes they I don't know, they morph into what they're at. I never morphed into what I was. I was just like, I'm here. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I got to do whatever it takes to get myself out. Mm-hmm. That was always, and I don't know how I got that mindset. Forward, dude. Because some people just get there. I'm here.
They look down.
They look down, or they can't look forward. Or they can't move, where they're paralyzed by. And it don't matter. Like, oh, well, Ron, you're a big dude, man. I went in at 6'4", 250, 260. Dude, it don't matter if you're 9'7" and 900 pounds.
They don't care.
They don't care. If you come in with that attitude, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
They will
humble your ass.
I promise you. So you kind of go in with like, I'm here.
Yep.
I didn't do nothing bad. I mean, nothing bad in their world, I didn't. I just kept my head down. I did my thing. Honesty. Didn't get in debt. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh wait, that's what life's. Wait, that's what you're supposed to do all the time. It was a trip, dude. It really, and everyone's like, oh, it changed me. Some people it does, very few, but I was like, son of a bitch. That's really how it's supposed to be.
Everyone in the comments, comment if you want Ron to write a book on his life experiences in jail.
Oh, we didn't even get to the good part.
I mean, like, I watched Sons of Anarchy, and I thought that was fucking like, whoa. He made it look like Disneyland compared, all right?
And we've had some fun stuff. We'll talk about on future episodes.
Yeah,
some of the funny things we do.
But everyone, take a look at his podcast, Stoic Warrior. Good stuff. I mean,
we got a lot more stuff coming.
Oh man! So this is just the beginning of our little series. We're going to come here on mindset change. So guys, stay tuned for all that. Ron, thanks for joining me for this episode 1 of our.
That's awesome, man. Thing. I love you, man.
Yeah, man.
And we worked in other capacities before as a photographer,
and it's going full circle, dude. And in different circles. Now we're going.
That's how it works.
But you see here, guys, as a creator, little background about myself. COVID hit, got laid off. I had to problem solve, started a business, went down this way. I got the skills and talents I needed to pursue this business. So I put value into myself. I got confident. I learned the industry. Now I am problem solving, evolving into this atmosphere of podcasting and getting the brand out, sharing my experiences, sharing others' experiences. That's what we need to do in this world now, is get positive reinforcement to our mindsets.
Because that's it.
That's it, dude.
In reality,
I was a different person 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
wouldn't be talking like this, and openly and confident,
it's
and like,
because
hey,
it takes you had to put the ego aside.
Yeah.
And I know we're wrapping up, and I would like, if anything, you keep the top of mind. If you guys listen to this and you get off of this, and you're like, oh, those two crackheads, or whatever. If you take something away as like, I'll try it. Just try it, man. Yeah. Just be willing to put your ego aside. Oh, screw that guy, or I could beat that guy, or I could. Who gives? I don't give 7 shits what you think you can do. I commend you if you go, yeah, maybe I'll try that. Dude, it's a big step, bro.
But common sense isn't so common anymore. Let's just face that. Yeah. But what do people say? The big dudes, when you go ask them in the gym, how do I get big? Leave your ego at the fucking door.
Yeah,
first fucking thing.
You got to do that.
First fucking thing.
You do.
So you apply that same shit to life. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Well, it's because it's fractal.
Yeah.
It's what it's called, fractal.
Yeah.
If you can succeed in bodybuilding by putting your ego aside, if you can succeed in business by putting your ego aside, you can succeed in a marriage, guys, by putting your ego aside.
And that's the biggest
You can
one.
succeed at being a father.
That's the big. Yeah. Those are 2 things right there: relationship, marriage, kids. Yeah. If those things are flourishing, business is endless.
Explode. Endless,
dude. You have the support, love to do whatever you need to do.
Well, it's because you got someone behind you that's like,
they know how valuable that is. You fuck that up, everything
and you. That's you get.
And you fucked up.
That's the deal. That's where, in reality, guys, we are responsible for every single thing that happened to us. And I know some people hate hearing that, and I'm going to get comments. Rah!
Oh wow.
We are. Mm-hmm. We are directly now. Even if you're like, well, I ran out the street, got hit by a car, some random thing you're going to bring up to try to go, I got this one little point I'm going to die. 99% of the time, the stuff we've done lent us to the road we're on now.
100%, dude.
So my countercurrent argument to that is the stuff you do going forward will lend you to the road you end up on 1, 3, and 5 years from now.
100%, bro.
That little dirt road, bro. Get up every morning. Honesty, integrity, low emotion, smile, get the feet on the floor.
Right? I may even get hate for this, but I don't care, dude. It's like I don't have sympathy for those that I see it online all the time. Oh, they had a relapse with their drugs. They overdosed.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Shit happens.
That was their choice.
Yeah, you did it, man.
They put that.
Coming from my background, lots of, we had addiction medicine. I got a certificate in addiction medicine. That sucks.
Yeah.
I won't invalidate you, bro. You relapsed. That blows.
Yeah,
Did you die? No, it's good.
Yeah.
That's a problem with death and suicide. Yeah. It's like being stupid. It only hurts people around you. The idea is I want you to get better. Sometimes that's my dickish part that comes out. I'm not the greatest. What did we say earlier? I'm like a bad Phil Jackson with motivation.
Yeah, I call it like alpha exorcism, dude.
Well, because I care. No, because
look, I've always said this. If you're not passionate about something, you can tell right away.
Yeah.
But when the passion comes out, whatever it is, it could be,
coaching, helping,
just the way you do it. And I'm just gonna it's hardcore, but good. I thrive on shit like that. Yeah, I thrive on that.
Lots of people do. It's just you gotta be willing to go.
It digs deeper, dude.
Yeah, it does because it cuts harder.
If you're trying to get through cement, hammering a fucking nail like this, ain't gonna go nowhere. You sledgehammer that shit.
That's it.
It's gonna get there.
Shit that's been there for a minute,
bro. It's solidified. You got to get down to the deep.
You got to get down to it. Yeah, and it's cool. It's I kind of thrive on, and my wife now is awesome. She knows her very well. She's the most kind, mellow. She's the balance to me.
She is his haven. She is the tea in her life. Calm. She's amazing. She's amazing.
She's amazing. But again, this goes full circle. I can't, and I don't say can't. It would be very, very challenging if I didn't have that level of support in my life every minute of every day. And there's sometimes she'll be like, Ron, you're being a fucking asshole. I'm like, oh, yes, dear. I've learned, guys, don't get me wrong, because before I'd be like, yeah.
And that's a sign of a good woman.
It's just, yes. And boy, it's few and far between. But if the time when he's seen it, no, foot's down.
Mm-hmm. A woman should check their man always.
Yeah.
My lady, I love it when she does.
Yeah. It's not a
personal dig. It's like, you're in the wrong. Check yourself a little bit. Pull it back. Dude.
Talk about wild endeavors. I have a very good friend of mine and was with a couple professional MMA guys. And his wife had to come pick him up because he had no shirt and no shoes on Las Vegas Boulevard, right out in front of Caesars, him and both of them. And very well-known MMA guys. And I told my wife, and I go, babe, what would you do? She's like, I'd probably just come pick you up. And I'm like, I love this girl so much. Like, and his wife was like, just get in the car. Like, it was one of those moments where, and I hope I never do that. But the idea was, there's no leash. It's not that. And so many guys are like, yeah, but you just get stepped. No, it's not being on your knees. I'm not serving on my knees. No. What I am is, you have an agreement. I'll check my ego at the door. My wife checks her ego at the door. But there's times where if I have I'm going to call you out. Now I'll wait for you to sober up and I'll find your shoes and your shirt and put them back on. And we'll take you home and put you to bed. And then when we're going to in the morning, we'll have a conversation about where your shoes and shirt were. End of story.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. But so many people, that's not simple.
Not.
And that story could be extrapolated to business and messing up in business and fucking up in a relationship and fucking up with your kids and not being responsible. But the point being is, at the end of this, guys, is check your ego at the door, man. Life is a beautiful thing. Yeah. It's just, that's why we did Stoic Warrior, man.
We're here at a limited time. And
not here for a long time.
Time is something you don't get fucking back.
You don't.
And as you get older, you realize that more and more. I didn't think about that shit when my early 30s or 20s. Yeah. In my 40s here, turning 44 this year, bro. Whoo.
Well,
whoo.
And it's,
like I said, 25 more good years. That's
well, and a lot of my guys are 25, 35. And you talked about, like, alpha exorcism is some of those guys I'm digging on them a little bit. And it's hard to break through sometimes. So some of those guys, the cool ones that I think are like, I did a good job, I'll give myself the pat on the back, is the guys that's 26, 27, fixes a relationship, straightens his head out. And it's not, I didn't do it. He allowed himself to open the door enough in his mind to go, wait, this OG, he's crazy. He's batshit crazy. But he looked kind of happy. And some of the other dudes, the guys that open their eyes and just start to be self-directive, to start practicing some of those Stoic principles, these guys are 6 months later. I own my own body shop now. I'm getting married to my wife. I'm like, fucking yes. Yep. I don't get any more
leveling up, dude.
From that. No. I don't get any more rah-rah from that. What I do get is, if the world had more of that, we'd have less of the freaking derelict dipshits that we have on Instagram. Sorry.
Even though I live on social media for business, I fucking hate it. Yeah. No one believes me, but I hate it, dude.
Well,
it's a necessity that society has pushed on us, and it's chained us. Dude.
Well, we pushed it on ourselves.
I know, but we let it become our lives, dude. And it sucks.
Yeah. There's all sorts of conversation we can have on that one, but the idea behind it is it did open up massive doors.
It did for me. However, there is always an evil to every.
Of course there is. Well, it's the two wolves things, right? Know, which wolf are you going to feed, right?
Pick your suck. Pick your fucking suck.
Pick your suck. I always tell us, wrap this up. Being broke is hard. Being rich is hard. Being fat is hard. Being skinny is hard. Right. Being happy is hard. Being sad is hard. Fucking pick a side, kids. Right. Don't pick the tranny bathroom. No offense. Pick a team. Right. And because sometimes you're swerving. You're in this medium shitty, man. And your life will be medium shitty until you make the determination on which hard you want. And it's kind of how I live my life, man.
So stay tuned, y'all, for our next episode. We'll probably get into social media topics. We need to dive in on that. And also, we're probably going to talk into business development, how to really push your mindset to really evolve your business and provide a better outcome in your goals, dude. Goals are something that aren't being driven hard enough into our mental state, and I think we need to start talking about that.
For sure, man.
Especially how goals affect our relationships, dude.
Of course they do.
They think they need to be aligned, and we're gonna hit on that.
Of course they do, man.
Yeah. All right. So thanks a lot, guys. This is Mark of the Hungry One Podcast. Ron, the Stoic Warrior. We'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you.